I grew up a diehard Lions fan. Diehard. I mean, I remember being a kid Sunday morning sitting on the couch in LaSalle, Ontario, waiting for Herman Moore, Barry
Restore
Sanders.
the roar.
Restore the roar, baby.
Restore
Scott
the roar.
Mitchell was the quarterback. Then it became Charlie Batch, then Joey Harrington. You name them, I was that kid deep on the roster when I'm like 10. Okay. And nobody before Matt Stafford could stick around in Detroit. Not because they weren't good enough, because the organization stunk. They had no coaches. They had no support. They had known anything. You know, you look at the Browns. The Browns were, I would say, kind of 1A and 1B when it comes to what not to do with them and the Lions. And everyone's seen the meme of the guy with all the different quarterbacks. The Lions were somewhat of the same way. I mean, their first-round picks just never seemed to pan out. I mean, it was big bad. And when guys got to free agency, they got out of there. And the two guys, other than Matt, that were generational talents, retired early because they couldn't fucking send it. Barry Sanders and Megatron. I mean, these are two of the best players to ever touch a football.
Yeah.
Think about that shit.
I've never been able to wrap my head around an organization being so, I'll choose my words carefully, not run well enough that two of the best players to just like ever play the sport were like, you know what, I'm just going to quit. Like, don't even trade me.
I remember, yes, Luke, I was a kid. I was a kid when Barry did it. I had the Barry Nike shoes. The only thing I wanted for Christmas. Okay, I dressed up as a guy for Halloween. And I remember being the most confused kid on planet Earth. Like, what? 6 weeks into me playing for Detroit under Matt Patricia, I remember sitting in that goddamn auditorium in Allen Park thinking, oh, damn, bro, I know exactly why Barry Sanders left this shit. I can't believe we didn't leave earlier. I mean, it's just a fact, bro. There was no hope. We had no hope. Every single part of the football aspect of Detroit made it more difficult, which it was a very, very tough pill for me to swallow. And then when I realized midway through the season that we weren't actually trying to win, made it even more difficult. And it's funny because I don't tell too many people this, but I actually turned down a 3-year deal to go to Carolina for a lot more money. Okay. I was sitting on my driveway in LaSalle, Ontario, and I called my agent because I had a 3-year deal to go to Carolina or 1 year to go to Detroit. Okay. In Carolina, I had Greg Willson. So in my head, I'm like, listen, I was a starting tight end in the NFL on a team that lost Super Bowl on the half-yard line. We trade for Jimmy Graham, OG, the homie. Shout out Jimmy Graham. I now become a second-string tight end that really did a lot of the grunt work for that offense for 3 years. Now, Jimmy's hurt for a bit, so I was kind of in and out, starting quite a bit. But I was like, dude, I don't want to go to Carolina and still be a backup. I got to go and ball out. Well, went to Detroit. I thought I was blatantly lied to on what the plan was for the year. And Greg Willson broke his foot and didn't play 2 games that season, I think. So, great decision by me. Again, my fault. But that's why it's tough when, like, if Detroit won a Super Bowl, I would feel like I got punched in the stomach. That's the truth about that. And it's tough because I was a I bleeded Honolulu blue and silver when I was a youngster. Bleeded.
Yeah, I mean, you said you dressed up as Barry Sanders for Halloween. I was too worried to ask if it was like a problematic, went the full 9 yards, or if there was no makeup that went with the costume. But I chose not to ask that question.
I was like 7 or 8, so don't worry. It was very politically correct.
Oh,
there's me and my sister, bro.
Look at this. No way.
Bro, you thought I was kidding, man. Nobody liked the Lions more than me. And now I'm not sure if anybody hates the Lions more than me. But we can get more into that as the podcast grows.
That's what it seems. How did we get this picture so quickly? How did that happen?
Dude, producer Alex is goated.
This guy doesn't sleep.